OD666666 here. We're back with another update. More like a recommendations and shit like that. First off, I'm going to go into what Miss OD got me for my birthday here. She got me this. This is a awesome book. Pretty much goes through a lot of the older, exploitation movies. It goes through 1970 to 1985. Has a lot of cool ass movies in there. This thing is huge. It's a 500-page book. If you want to find out more about some obscure movies and things like that, this is definitely the book to get. If you like shit, Axe and like Don't Go in the House and things like that, this is definitely a book for you. It's got a big ass thing on what movie is that? Don't Go in the Woods Alone and Deadly Spawn and all that kind of good stuff. This book was awesome. Definitely cool. Yeah, and she also got me this. Don't Go Near the Park. It was one I had in my wish list. This movie, man, I don't even know how to explain this movie. Oh my god, this movie was nuts. It's a bad movie. I'm not gonna recommend this for everybody. I enjoyed it. Oh my god, I can't even begin to try to explain the plot. It's like thousands of years ago, these cult members, oh my god, they figured out the secret to eternal life, and it's like a mother and her two, son and daughter, and her son and daughter go around cannibalizing the younger kids in the tribe so they can have eternal life. The mother finds out about it, puts a curse on them, makes it to where, they have to live and suffer and blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. Anyway, it goes into the present. She says to end the curse, what they need to do is they need to, God, it's so weird. They need to kill a 16-year-old virgin that is in the same bloodline as them in order to end the curse. Because they rot. What happens is they start rotting away if they don't feed on younger kids and younger people. So anyway, what happens is they live in this park in this dilapidated building. One day the son meets this chick at a festival or whatever, and it's Linnea Quigley. I think this was like her first movie, one of her first, probably her second or first movie. So she's real young in this. But anyway, he meets her, he has sex with her and stuff. They have a kid. He waits till she turns 16, and then it's his job to kill her. It's just, this movie was nuts. It doesn't have a lot of gore in it. It's a video nasty, and it's like, it says on the back, banned by the UK courts as depraved, a true video nasty. I can't see much nasty about this. I mean, the beginning of the movie, they kill this kid near a creek and start eating his guts, but it looks so fake. I don't know. I enjoy this movie, but I could not recommend it for everybody because I know it's a bad one. If you go read reviews about it, there's a lot of people that can't stand this movie, but I enjoyed it. And then I got an old 80s classic here. It has a really cool soundtrack. It does have the Buzzcocks in it a lot. There's a lot of Buzzcock songs in it. Basically, what this one's about is it's this guy from Alabama that goes to college. He has this cool friend, he's a big suave dude, gets all ladies. And the redneck that comes from Alabama, he's real horny, and he's always trying to get laid, and like everything he does just does not work. He's a big pervert, and so he tries all this stuff. He's always getting turned down by ladies. It's really funny, man. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's typical 80s, just retarded, bonkers. I don't know, just yeah, the end of this movie was really nuts, too. But yeah, if you guys are into 80s flicks, 80s comedies, and you like the Buzzcocks, there's a lot of songs there by them. Just totally un-PC, ridiculous movie. Definitely check out Party Animals. It was a lot of fun. And then I got this weird shit. Yokai Monsters, Spook Warfare. This movie is another thing. It's like a kids movie. Asian kids movie. Basically what this is about is, what is he called? Jesus Christ. Just like, people storming the ruins of Babylonia. they're like trying to thieve some shit, so they're breaking into the statue, and they end up uncovering this axe thing here, which brings this demon back to life because he was imprisoned in that rock. So it brings him back to life, and he goes and it's like a demon vampire. He goes and he possesses one of the leaders of the village. And nobody knows, the dude's possessed by a demon, except, these certain people. There's these little monsters here. They're the yokai monsters. Really weird, man. But yeah, they're like good spirits. And, yeah. So anyway, the town's in trouble because, the dude, after he gets possessed, he's like breaking all of his Buddha shit and like, telling people, he loses his mind and he becomes totally evil. Anybody he bites becomes possessed also. So anyway, these little creatures here, little puppeteers and stuff, gotta help the people of the town defeat him. But man, this is a crazy ass movie. It is subtitled, so if you're not in the subtitles, definitely Ty and Sarah, man, if you've seen this one, I think this one's up your alley. I know you like this kind of weird stuff, but this one's pretty good. Get it cheap on Amazon too. Then I got this. This was a gem here. I really enjoyed this movie. Poor Pretty Eddie. An older 70s flick. Basically what this one's about, there's a black chick that's a singer. She's just like stressed out, so she goes on a drive through the country. Her car breaks down in this redneck town. She goes to the nearest place. The nearest place that she can go ask for help is this like little like an inn where they serve people breakfast. They got a little place to eat. They got rooms, so she goes up there to ask, does anybody fix my car? And of course there's this guy named Eddie there, and he's like, total fancy redneck boy, kind of wants to be like Elvis. He sings songs and stuff like that. He has acoustic guitar, plays shows in his little hick town, thinks he's a shit, thinks he's pretty cool. But anyway, he takes a liking to the chick that, that poor girl. But anyway, he takes a liking to her. She don't like him. She makes it pretty obvious. She's kind of a bitch about it. He ends up taking advantage of her and keeping her there. And while in the scene where he goes in there and takes advantage of her, it shows him, wrestling around with her, and it intercuts with two dogs humping, which I thought was really weird and funny at the same time. This movie was really good. The characters in this movie are just balls out, just weird. It's just like, if you want to see an interesting exploitation flick, it's really fun flick. Anybody that's into that kind of shit, I totally recommend this movie. It's just good fun. Real abrupt end. The ending is just like, what? It just ends, and then it's just, no credits or anything. It's really weird. Then I got this little independent flick here, I'll Bury You Tomorrow. Now, this is another one. I enjoyed this movie. Now, it is like 119 minutes or so. It's almost 2 hours long, which I think they could have cut some shit out. They didn't need to make it that long. But I got a short attention span. I'm always going to say that. But anyway, that's why I still haven't watched Philosophy of a Knife, because it's like freaking 4 hours long. But anyway, this movie here, what it's about is this chick. She works at, a mortuary. She went to school to do all that, fancy up bodies for their funerals and things like that. But she's got a little secret. She moves away. She comes in on this train, comes into this little quiet little town where they got a mortuary there. She tries to get a job, but she has this big suitcase with her. And you find out, which it's not like giving a lot away because it happens within the first 15 minutes of the film, that she is carrying her parents' bodies in this big suitcase. Also about this movie, she has a thing for dead people, and so it hints around at a little bit of necrophilia. She got abused by her parents. It interclips that kind of stuff. Now, there's really crazy characters in this movie too. There's this real religious lady that just lost her daughter, so when she comes to get a job, of course this chick reminds her of her daughter, and she's like, oh, you got the job, come stay with us, and we got a room for you already, and she gives her daughter's old room, and she's just kind of nuts, religious lady. And then you got like the janitor, or just odd, he does odd jobs and shit around there. He's a scumbag. You know, he's always like snorting coke and like, you know, just looking all dirtied up and stuff, and he's just a pervert and just a total piece of shit, you know. And I don't know. I don't want to give too much away on this. I enjoyed this movie. I don't know if it's for everybody. Go check out the trailer. Basically, it's the look of this movie, like the camera work and the lighting and stuff like that, reminded me almost like a soap opera. Or like a Doctor Who episode almost, so it's not like real high quality movie or anything like that, but it did have some cool elements in it, and I did enjoy it, and I thought it was a really original idea. So if you guys have seen I'll Bury You Tomorrow, let me know what you thought about it. Then I got this one. I also enjoyed this one a whole lot. The Love Butcher. Now, this movie, what this one's about, it's just this guy, he's a gardener. He's, you know, bald, and he's got, you know, real messed up teeth. He's a little bit on the slow side. Anyway, that's all you know. And at the beginning of it shows somebody that's been impaled with a big, you know, garden tool, and they're dead, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, he goes around, he's creeping everybody out. All the chicks around there hate him. You know, they just think he's a big weirdo. But what happens is he's got a split personality disorder. So he goes home, and he has this mannequin dressed up with a wig on and everything. He talks to him like he's his brother. He's like, what are we going to do, you know, this and that. And so, you know, you can figure it out. So, of course, he puts the wig on, becomes his brother, and then he becomes a ladies' man. He goes to all these girls' houses that have screwed him over while he was the gardener. And he, you know, he charms them. He's all like, he does it with them and stuff. And then he kills them. This movie has, you know, it's a cool little, it's got some twists and turns in there. It's a fun flick. It's a 70s flick. So, you know, it's definitely a recommendation from me. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty damn good. Now this one's another one. I'm not sure if I can... I'm not sure everybody's going to like this one either. Now, Spring Break Massacre. Now, this is pure cheese. It's got Reggie Bannister in it. It's got Linnea Quigley in it. The dialogue is just... oh, man, the dialogue. Woo! Yeah. But you know what? The dialogue was so bad that me and Miss OD were laughing the whole way through this movie. The thing that really did it for me is, if you guys have seen this movie or you're going to go see this movie, just keep in mind the dude that comes and keeps stopping by their house. He's bald, gray, you know. He's just, he made me crack up every time I seen him. Basically all it is like this chick's dad goes out of vacation and she invites all her friends over and dudes come over and they're all trying to play a trick on them and blah blah blah. It's the same old stuff like Slumber Party Massacre, things like that. It's a ripoff. It's like a homage to, you know, or an homage or an homage or an omelet, whatever, to that kind of shit. But yeah, you know, it doesn't have much gore or anything like that in it. It's a corny movie. It's got a little twist at the end of it. I enjoyed this movie. I can't really explain why I enjoyed it, because it's pretty bad, but I did enjoy it. So if you guys seen Spring Break Massacre, let me know what you guys thought about that, because I might be, maybe I'm just nuts or just a terrible person, I don't know. And then I got this, Maniacs with Jeff Fahey. This was a fun flick. Now basically what this one's about, Jeff Fahey's just, you know, he's bananas. He gets locked up in he kills some people, gets locked up in a mental institution, meets this chick in the mental institution. She's just as bonkers as he is, and they fall in love. The janitor helps him escape. He escapes. They both get out of there, but anyway, things happen. I'm not going to give everything away. It was a fun movie. Not gory, not really. It's more of a comedy. Got a little bit of a love story in it, but it is wacky, a little cheesy, pretty fun. And then my buddy, Vance Spalding 069. He told me I have to get this. It's two Mexican horror flicks here on a flipper disc. Cemetery of Terror, Grave Robbers, man. Both these movies are really fun. Now, I think I did prefer Cemetery of Terror, but I'm not saying Grave Robbers is a bad movie. They're both good movies. These are both subtitled. Cemetery of Terror was really cool. It starts out as a slasher flick, you know, it's got like this weird looking guy going around and kills this chick in an elevator. He's like in league with Satan, and you know, so he's an evil son of a bitch, but he ends up dying, and the guy's doctor, after they caught the criminal, you know, the guy dies. So the guy's like psychologist or whatever, his doctor, he's like, you gotta get the body and you gotta cremate it or else he's gonna come back. And everybody's like, oh, you're full of shit, whatever, buddy, you know, this and that. And so anyway, what do you know? He comes back from the dead. And you know, there's elements of like, I don't know, I could see elements of I could see they got their inspiration from shit like Evil Dead, Halloween. It takes place at Halloween. It's just a cool movie. It's got, if you dig 80s movies and shit like that, you're gonna like this. If you don't mind subtitles, you know, if you can read stuff like that, go ahead and read the subtitles because it's worth it. This is a fun one, man. Grave robbers, pretty fun. What it is, people robbing graves, shit like that. They go, now it starts out, it's got this dude, it's like in the, you know, 1900s or some shit like that, and it's like this big satanic dude, and he's got to impregnate this virgin. You know, he's in the middle of doing that, he's torturing her and stuff, and then the villagers find him, and they get him, and they save the girl, and they put him on this big rack, and they end up killing him. They stick an axe into his chest, and he vows, though, he's like, you know, Satan is the true power, and this and that. And you'll bury that axe deep within me, but whoever pulls this axe out of my chest, I will be back, and blah, 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 I'll get my vengeance. So anyway, the grave robbers are robbing shit, they find his tomb, they pull the axe out like a bunch of dumbasses, and the dude gets up, and all hell breaks loose. It was a fun one, man, I did enjoy it, but Cemetery Terrors is shit, this one's a good one too. Definitely worth a pickup if you can find it for a decent price. Thank you, Vance, it's definitely worth it, man. Then the last one we'll talk about real quick is just a Sentinel. This is an older, you know, 70s movie. I don't know, I just really been on a 70s kick lately, these older movies. This was a damn good horror movie, man. At first, you know, I started watching, I was like, I don't know, man, this might be a little too boring for me. You know, I'm kind of stupid, so, you know, I like my cheap thrills. But this one, it starts out, it's got this chick, she's a model, you know. She's dating this lawyer. He wants to get married. She wants to take a little time. You know, she wants to branch her out. You know, she wants to stay with him, but she wants to have her own apartment. So she goes into this apartment house here, gets herself a room, but there's some secrets that she don't know, and it's a bunch of crazy shit. So she's got a lot of wild neighbors. It's got Burgess Meredith in there playing a role of like this old senile guy. It's got John Carradine that plays the part of a priest. He's a blind priest that lives upstairs that never talks to anybody, always keeps his door locked, real weird. You know, everybody's like, oh, there's a weird priest that lives upstairs. Anyway, there's some secrets that come up that I can't give away. There's this real weird scene with like her father from back in the day. Like, she caught him having sex and cheating on his mom, or cheating on her mom with these two like big heavy prostitutes, and they're all nasty and naked, and he's real old, and it was disturbing. I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. So anyway, she finds him doing that. She attempts to commit suicide. Which comes into play later in the movie. I can't give too much away because it'll ruin the whole movie. Anyway, I will say this because it's on the front cover. There's a gateway to hell involved in this movie. Now, the coolest thing that I really thought just blew me away was the end of this movie. Now, they actually used, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but they actually used, you know, some deformed people in there. It's like a crew of these deformed people. And man, it was pretty freaky. Like, I don't really get freaked out by flicks, and I mean, I wasn't scared, I didn't shit my pants or anything, but it did have a really creepy vibe to it. This is definitely worth checking out if, you know, just a fan of like old school horror. Definitely one, it's a blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's it for now. I got a bunch of other shit, but it's already on like 19 minutes. You guys probably already shut this shit off. So anyways, I'm going to talk to you guys later. Oh yeah, go support Drew Rose's new movie, Billy Club, because I want to see that shit come out, damn it. I want it to get funded. I can't wait to see that thing. Go check out his it's called the Surgery Room. He's got a YouTube page. It's got some like promotional videos. Right now on my YouTube page, I got it as a featured video. So if you go to my YouTube page, you'll see his little ad for it. I'll have it up, instant play. Anyways, I'm getting off here because you guys hate my guts. Bye! From experience, you couldn't write from the beginning, booking studio time with some scrambling concept shit on your mind. Who's crying the blues? Feel my news accurately in New York City. There's 1,000 motherfuckers trying to